right. Hey, this is Anthony Bonaspinas, CEO and founder of LI Tech Advisors with another LI Tech Talk. Today's guest is Mark Kravietz from Allied Wealth, and he is going to be speaking about what um, his business is about, and also how he helps clients out, and what makes him different, the differentiators and stuff. And I could tell you right off the bat, I see it already just because of the conferences and organizations he's already invited me to, and he definitely is a pioneer in a lot of aspects here. So, Mark, welcome.
Anthony, thank you so much. I really appreciate being on here with you, and I'm ready to go. You asked
Yeah,
the
well, tell me a
questions.
little bit about your business, what you do.
Sure.
I know there's a lot of three-letter things in there, this is, so on, but just define it and let me know how and what your perfect client is and what you do.
Okay, sure. Well, so I'm managing partner for ALINE Wealth. ALINE Wealth is a company that's in Long Island, Manhattan, and also in Florida. We service a few different areas. One of the areas of our expertise is helping business owners get ready for and go through an exit of their business, and I can go into much more detail with that. Our main business is managing clients' assets and doing a lot of planning all around that. We do a tremendous amount of financial planning, estate planning, and so on around that. Going back to helping business owners get ready for an exit, when a business owner is getting ready for the exit, a lot of times 80-90% of their business is 90% of their wealth is in their business. So when they come to me and I say, hey, what's your asset allocation? They might say, hey, it's 60-40, 60% stock, 40% bonds. And I say, well, not really, because if 90% of your business is your 90% of your net worth is your business, that means that your real allocation is 90% in an asset that is illiquid, 6% is stock, 4% is bonds. So it puts them into perspective that, hey, at some point in time they need to monetize that business to be able to extract more of their wealth from that business. And so we're here to go through that whole uh, way of helping them get to whatever their ultimate goal is, and a lot of times it's a sale of their business. So we help with that.
Yeah, it makes sense because I'm the owner of a business, and sometimes I did my own kind of like planning, but I see a lot of gaps. All right, because I think many owners don't even plan on exiting; they just keep on going. But the thing is, in my case here, is like eventually, I'm going to retire, or there's going to be something where the business now is going to. I want it to continue, but maybe me jumping in periodically and annoying the employees. But other than that, I would like to just maybe move back from it. So sometimes I don't even know where to start, and what do you suggest there? I
So
mean, good
yeah, I mean that's a
conversation.
yeah. You have I'm a very good person to talk to at the very beginning stages. I've helped over 100 businesses, companies, individuals, families get ready for and go through the next stage of their life. So it's good to have a conversation. I love having conversations with people. First of all, when you look at your business, it could be more like run by um, cash. Just call it cash business or value business. What I consider a cash business is that a person is not really putting money back into their company. They're taking that cash out and they're using it for their own purposes. Hopefully, they're putting money away, uh, for long term, but also, it's helping with their lifestyle. Um, a value business is someone that's kind of putting money back into the company to create value for that company. So when that company does sell, they're going to be getting a sizable lump sum. It doesn't matter to me what their business is, just that the people that are doing kind of the cash business, they can't get paid twice. In other words, you're taking money out, taking money out, taking money out. You're not going to get really a very high multiple for your business. So one thing to recognize is, do you have a cash business? Do you have a value business? And then can you take a cash business and turn it into a value business? The answer is yes. That's going to take some time. You mentioned that I have some letters next to my name. One of them is I'm a CEPA, I'm a certified exit planning advisor. I got that at Exit Planning Institute, where they give out these certifications. You can bring a CEPA in to try to analyze your business and see where the red flags are, so that you can change those red flags and then be able to get a higher multiple, maybe turn from a cash business to a value business, and then get higher turns or higher multiple on your business. So I guess the first thing is to see the type of business that you have, and then from there you can go on. Hopefully that answers some of the
No, it
question.
does. Also, I mean, because some of the stuff I do as well is strategic planning with businesses. I talk to them not just about IT, but generally what their plans are, because I have
Mm.
to know from a technology standpoint the direction they plan on going, so I can make sure that the infrastructure is going to be suited for their needs going forward. And in some cases, if they're talking about exit, I'll bring you in and say, okay, talk to Mark. He's the guy on this. But regarding like you're talking multipliers, the EBITDA and so on. Well, the thing is, a stable environment, is a cyber resilient environment, extremely important in this. You want to make sure somebody looking at your company, if you're looking to exit, they want to make sure you have the things in place. Your compliance is in place. It's all buttoned up, and you have a really good, company that can be moved on and handed off to somebody without it falling apart because the technology was dependent on somebody internally keeping things going. And you got to make sure that everything is in place. So I have those kind of conversations, but I'll bring in strategic partners because I'm good at what I do. I push one shopping cart down that aisle, but
Right.
you're pushing the exit plan shopping cart along with everything that goes around that. So I understand that. And the question I have too is that how soon, because I'm thinking about this now, as in my case, that I wish I'd brought you in 10 years ago.
Well, from a planning standpoint, the ultimate, if you go 2 or 3 years out, it's very difficult if you just say, "Hey, I'm a business owner. I'm selling this quarter." I mean, that's not realistic. That's not going to happen unless it's a fireside sale. But if you want to get a
Mhm.
positive situation or positive sale, you definitely want to give it a year or two or even three to look out. At Exit Planning Institute, they talk about three legs of the stool. If you can get three legs of the stool correct, and this is a very simple process, very simple thing, three legs of the stool right, you potentially can have a very positive outcome. What are those three legs of the stool? You want to make sure that your business is ready. So that's one. And having part of that is a lot of check marks and having cybersecurity and having all your technology stack correct. That is definitely part of the check marks that they should have. But there's so many other areas there as well. So one, you want to have the business right. Two, you want to have your personal financial correct. That's where my expertise is. That's where my CFP, Certified Financial Planner, and also my CIMA Certified Investment Management Analyst. That's where that comes in. So there's a lot of personal planning that you need to do. One of the things that a business owner wants to know is, how much should I sell it for? How much do I need? How much money do I need to live comfortably for the rest of my life? And so we do those kind of reporting for them. We'll do a full financial plan, looking at the goals, analyzing the assets that they have, looking at the business. We do a business valuation. The business valuation that we do is kind of a back of the envelope number. If someone doesn't have an idea of what their business is worth, which is very, very important, and they just want to get a back of the envelope number, we can do that. So, Anthony, for someone like yourself or some of your people, we can offer something like that to them, and we'll use that number. So it's worth X amount. We'll use that number in the financial plan to see if they're going to be okay. And if that number is too low, then we got to look at how we can increase the multiples, increase the EBITDA, increase it so that they can get a higher multiple so that they can have
Mhm.
enough money to live comfortably. The other part is if they're selling for an extraordinary amount of money, there are things to do from a tax planning standpoint, from an estate planning standpoint, that you need to do and look at before the fact, not after the fact. So these are the things that we do. So that's the second leg of the stool. The third leg of the stool is really looking at what a person or business owner is going to do after they leave their business, they sell their business. A lot of times, they are the business person. You look at Anthony, hey, he's the tech guy. All of a sudden, you're not at your business. All right, Anthony's not the tech guy. He's the former tech guy.
Mhm.
Where are you on that? So again, we've helped over 100 business owners, people, families go to the next level. We'll have those deep conversations on there, and that's the third leg of the stool. If you have those three legs, you're on your way to a positive outcome.
Okay, this is very informative. I appreciate this. Well, next question is, and before we close out, is AI is happening. All right, and I know how it's affecting my business, how we're using it, and we're now using it for our clients because we've internalized it and we've automated workflows and so on. We're doing with you know less people or the same people. We didn't get rid of anybody. We're much more efficient now, and our bandwidth. We can handle so much more now in client load. That's how it's improving us. What is it you see? Like, what are you using now, or what do you plan? Where's your industry going with that?
There's so many advancements, so many things, so much tech stack that's either coming or we're using now. So um, what we're looking to do is automate routine tasks. So we have one software where it's going to connect uh, with your existing tech stack, and it'll help with the calendars. It'll be on Zoom. It'll be on our CRM, where it'll automatically capture, organize, and act on client information. So we can use it to prepare meetings, draft some emails, follow up without recording or storing information. So what it will do, it'll take a lot of time consuming tasks like writing out client meeting notes and summaries. So if you're a client, I'm taking notes, I'm listening, I'm taking notes, taking notes, taking notes, taking notes. Then I'm taking those notes, summarizing it, and then I'm putting it onto my CRM. And then there's follow up, right? Then I'll send an email, prepare an email, follow up, get a task list of things that we might have to follow up. And so we now can automate a lot of that. So it's just you and I having a conversation. I'll get, if it's okay with you, I would get notes on it, summarizing everything, preparing a follow-up email, a task list, and things that'll go out. So that will save a tremendous amount of time on my side. And then on the servicing, client servicing standpoint, we have different tech stacks and different software that we're utilizing where someone has an allocation. We talked about 60/40. If the allocation is off, we're going to get alerted on that. We have a new program. You talk about new programs. We have a new program coming on where we're going to be connecting with the IRS to create a port that looks at the 10 years of someone's tax history, and they'll get a
Mhm.
report on, hey,
That's great. Yeah.
what's happened there, and then see what the red flags are, and also it'll show if you possibly could be audited. So that is coming very, very soon. It's tremendous.
Hmm.
We also have something where someone can give us all their estate planning documents, and we can create a report that shows, you know, what happens to your assets at your death, how much tax you would have to pay federally, state wise, with
Hmm.
no planning, and then what it would look like if you did some planning. So these are just a few things. We have a lot more. But those are just a few things that, enhances the client experience.
Yeah, that sounds great. I mean, it's definitely it's disruptive technology, and it's getting better every day.